Yo, what is up, guys? If you're interested in getting coached by me personally, feel free to join my Discord server and DM me directly. Link is in the description down below. I've helped hundreds of players to get to their dream rank, and I can guarantee that I could do the same with you. Enjoy the video. Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's Sungod here, and today we're gonna practice like Graves mechanic, and I'm gonna show you like tips and tricks that you can use in your own game that will turn you into a better Graves player in actual minutes. Those are all mechanics that you can practice here in Practice Tool, and that will definitely help you out in game. So the first mechanic is canceling your auto attack animation with your E. This is obviously one of the most important Graves mechanic, so everyone knows this, but I'm still gonna go over it. Essentially, you want to auto attack and you want to E immediately after. So auto attack into E, and you want to practice that as much as possible on camps or other players, because that will help you gain a huge advantage, right? So for example, auto attack E, auto attack E. So auto attack E. It's very, very basic. The second is the dashes. So there are a lot of walls that people struggle with and they don't understand why they can't go through walls. So for example, like the smaller walls is really easy to go through, but the bigger walls, a lot of people struggle. So for example, I'm going to show you how you struggle here. This is not going to work, right? But you need to understand that your E dash is very limited and it's only going to work if you're very close to a wall. The same goes for niddly dash. So for example, here I'm right there and I see that the circle goes over the red buff wall, so it's just going to work. The same thing goes for your ultimate. Your ultimate has a smaller dash, which you can use to go over walls if you don't have your E available, but you cannot go over bigger walls. So for example, here I'm gonna try to use my E, and you're gonna see that it's going to work. So let's position ourselves. There you go. So now I'm gonna go through the wall, but if I use my R, it's just not going to work because the R dash is limited. The next thing that you need to understand is the E dash. So the E dash is, of course, like a dash that always goes towards the direction that you pointed at. So for example, here it's just going to go towards this direction, but you can actually make the dash shorter or longer, and it's important to understand this. So for example, if I dash towards this area and I put my cursor far away, you can see that this is the max range dash. So this is the word I'm going to put here, but I can actually make my dash shorter if I put my cursor closer to Graves. So you'll see the dash is actually shorter here. This is fairly important as you don't want to dash shorter in certain situations, especially if you're catching someone. Imagine you're trying to kill this top laner here and you have like a short dash. It's not good, right? But if you use like a longer dash and you put your cursor like far away, you're gonna have a longer dash and therefore you're gonna cover more distance in a short amount of time. The only time you want to have like a shorter dash is if you're in a 1 versus 1 situation and you want to cancel like your auto attack as quickly as possible in order to get your other auto attack off. Then this is gonna be useful, right? You can see that the dash is way shorter. All right. Moving on to the next mechanic is canceling your abilities with E. You can actually cancel your abilities using your E ability as second. So for example, if I use my E into Q, of course it's going to extend my Q, right? This doesn't actually reach except the second Q, and this doesn't actually reach. But if I use my E and then my Q, I can actually reach this target right there. However, if you're already close to your target and you just wish to burst this person down as fast as possible, what you can do is Q into R, or you can Q into E for an auto attack if you don't have your R abilities. For example, Q into E, very easy, and then you can proceed to put an auto attack. So Q into E auto attack, Q into E auto attack, and then you can even use the R after this. So for example, Q into E auto attack into R, which is basically like one of the max damage combo if you even use your W. But there's something else you can even do, which is Q into R into E. So for example, QR into E. So you have to do it fast or else it's not gonna work. If I don't use my E like fast enough, this is what's going to happen, right? I'm gonna stand in place. So Q into R and then use E. You see like how I'm just stopping there? However, if I use my E immediately after, what's going to happen is that Graves is gonna immediately dash after the R animation. So let me show you. Oops, I failed. There you go. So it's immediately going to cancel the R animation and therefore going to make you more efficient, and you can do that on all abilities. So for example, the W as well. You see how it's like very instant? That's because I'm canceling the animation. All right, moving on. The next thing that you can use the E for is obviously like as a gap closer. So for example, gap closer, sorry. If you're using, for example, like you're very far from a target, but you still wish to catch up to them, what you can do is use your R as a dash and then cancel the R animation with your E. So you actually want to point the R behind you and then use your E immediately after, so you're essentially gap closing this person right there. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to walk towards the person, Q into R into E, and you're essentially gap closing. This is useful in a situation where, like I said, you want to gap close and you want to catch someone out and you have enough damage on your auto attacks in order to finish them down fairly efficiently without using flash. And that is about it about this video. If you have any questions regarding Graze as a whole mechanically wise, feel free to ask in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.